Hello, 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 and welcome back to the continuing adventures of NukeZard as he, I guess it's treks through the dungeon. Where last we left off, NukeZard was doing stuffs. Now onto the show. More seriously, I just got my first rune, and glance over at the overview says that I've done apparently pretty well for myself so far. I could take on early spiders, but I'm pretty sure I lack See Invisible, and as a mage without See Invisible, you can get harassed by ghost moths pretty hard, especially at low HP totals like Deep Elf has. Also, look at this, points out that I haven't even found the Orcish Mines yet, and I'm only on Dungeon 8. So plenty of reasons to go back to the dungeon at this point. Death Yaks go in herds, but I do have Freezy Clouds, which should adequately soften them up, if not actually just out and out kill them. Let's finish this one off with a orb. Perfect. And an additional orb. And a final orb. That should do it. That was not what I was trying to do. I was trying to do a animate skeleton or animate dead. Apparently I don't have those memorized. Oh well. No matter, now I have a Spellforge Servitor. Back to the dungeon. Iron shots. Did it again. Muscle memory of mine. Alright, anyway, back to the dungeon. And we're moving onward, so floor 9. What do I have to throw? Nothing. Things at rest so I can afford to get a step away or 3 before I Searing Ray it to death. And then we'll finish it off this way. Perfect. Finish the ray. Conjuration is already pretty high, right? Yeah, almost at 20. Let's actually hit the next breakpoint while we still can. Should be running low on poison chunks sometime this century. I'm tempted to do that line from, what is that movie called? Not Rosebud. Movie's called, oh hell, I don't know what I'm talking about. I lost $50 this year, and I anticipate that if I do this again, I'll lose another, I'll lose another, I'll lose another. I'll eventually have to close this place after 60 years. Charles Foster Kane, that's what I'm thinking of. So, Okuzobu's Refrigeration, I don't actually know what that spell does. I don't think I've ever memorized it. It's an AoE that doesn't work against cold, and is based purely on the ice school. And it may or may not hurt myself, I can't be sure. Do I have amnesia? How much amnesia do I have in this dungeon? Several. Okay, so I'm gonna use an amnesia scroll to free up the slot that is currently taken up by Iron Shot, which I will pretty much never use. Searing Ray is replacing Magic Dart right now, I guess. And I'm tempted to test Okuzobu's Refrigeration. I don't think I actually use it though. But like right here, it would hit the ogre and nothing else. That's pretty pointless, considering I could do that to hit the ogre for the same mana total with a persistent cloud that I can aim. I think I just talked myself out of it. Go ahead and have my servitor win this fight for me. close the door to prevent the guy from looking at me, because when that guy looks at you, you lose mana. Servitor is good here. I've got several enemies to kill. Get my food back. Burglary should have swiftness. It does, but this is new swiftness, which is just so much worse than old swiftness. Old swiftness, there was never a reason not to use. New swiftness is like, makes you fast and then it makes you slow. And the downside sometimes is even worse than the upside. Still may be worth picking up as a, like, alternative to having to blink out of trouble, but like, treat it as a semi-directed blink. I don't know. Why are you carrying pizza? That's pointless. Book of Flames. I'm tempted to learn Fireball. I know I have, like, cold up to the yin yang, but it's a good spell. It really is. Until I have irresistible damage from Glaciate, Fireball gives me a way to deal with enemies that resist cold. I don't have that right now. Not really. Well, I have Orb of Destruction. Yeah, no, forget it. We're good. Next floor. I really miss Magic Dart. It's kind of like a... Because right now I don't have anything in between Orb of Destruction and meleeing my enemies. It's true, actually. I guess I have the Freeze Cloud if I'm at range, but... What's here? Just a Cloud of Flame? Yeah, no, I'll be glad not to open that door, thank you. Yeah, see, at melee range, I'm pretty much reduced to doing this. You know what? We're gonna eat something. No, we don't have anything that we can eat. Dang it. There we go, Orcish Mines. Awesome. Thanks to Gourmand status, it's actually pretty easy for me to spam cast some pretty high level spells as I have been. That's probably why I haven't memorized spellcasting beyond 10 despite my massive aptitudes for it. Because I don't need to. Since I'm doing so much melee, let's switch to something with a little bit more punch to it, shall we? Rings of Evasion are actually pretty awesome sometimes. Cursed Rings of Negative Evasion are not. I would definitely wear that instead and drop that. Let's try that on. No, thank you. Poison resistance. Am I not wearing an amulet? Huh. That's silly. At the very least, wear an amulet. I mean, it doesn't have to be a good one. Oh, wait, Amulet of Regeneration. It can be a good one. Generally speaking, I don't wear amulets of resist mutation until I have a reason to fear mutations. Like when I'm drinking a random potion, or when I come across enemies that deal that particular status. Later on in the game, those enemies become the norm, but right now they are by far the minority. Also, I have a scroll of requirements, so let's absolutely acquire some armor. See what I get. Ooh, looks good. Slayage +2, or just +2. You know, it's sad, but I would actually rather have +2 aptitude, or +2 modifier for the better armor, than have slaying +2 on this, because... Wait, where'd all the chunks go? Oh, I was wearing Gourmand until just now. Shoot. Yeah, well, we're gonna go back to Gourmand. It's just a more useful amulet for my purposes. 16 not very filling chunks should still be enough. Yep. Two potential sky weapons. We'll pick both of those up. Sky weapon being a weapon that you take more for the enchantments on it than you take for the actual weapon itself. It's actually pretty nifty in that it has int +6, but it does detract from my cold resistance, putting me in negative cold resistance. I can't afford to go negative. I have to be at least neutral. This gets me positive, but at what cost? Okay, so here's the thing. This guy gives me int +6. Int +6 is fantastic. It's a little bit more power boost at a time where I actually really need that. And it puts Glaciate at semi sort of getting to the point of being learnable. Okay, so not really. Meanwhile, this guy gives me resist cold, which I really need to complete my resistances. I'm not wearing plate armor this game, you can forget it. Leather is not unconsiderable, but I'm wearing +2 troll leather right now, which is great for regen. Oh boy. It's a doozy, no question about that. I don't need to stack all these wands of draining, one is plenty. You know what, let's make the correct decision. Let's wield... Did I drop something? I did. Oops. Let's wield the War Axe in general, and switch to the falchion when it's called for. Well, no, other way around, sorry, yeah. If I suspect an enemy of being able to cast cold, like any wizard, I need to switch back. This is silly. This is very silly. I feel like I'm making the wrong decision. I feel like I should either take the int +6 and wear it, or not wear it, as the case may be, but pick one. This whole half-half thing is never going to happen. Oh boy, okay, so, Wave of Frost. I do have the ability to memorize Fireball. I have Resist Cold +1. I think it's safe to attempt. Do I have a Fireball wand or something? No, I don't. I think it's safe to attempt this, but I need to have a very low threshold on backing out, because my primary AoE spell is ice-based, and is going to be completely or mostly useless in this place. What is this? It's a worker ant simulacrum. I'm not scared of a worker ant simulacrum. Alright, so we're kinda sorta up to date on food status. Oh crap, I just assumed the frost thing was right here. We can magic map, I have several scrolls. It's due south, by the other door. Let's work our way there, that's fine. Whoa. I entered a random teleport trap, put me in a very bad place. I'm surrounded, but I could probably just walk away. Let's drop my war buddy, and then back off. Get these guys off me. I really wish I had a fireball. I would attack right now, right here, and that would just be massive for me. You know what? We need to learn fireball. I don't know if I can do it in... Who am I kidding? There's no way I can do it under these conditions. Let's go upstairs. Letter R is what I usually use. Let's try a different downstairs. Because, yep, we could end up much closer. And then we could start using our fireball to good effect. It's a guaranteed hit. Imps are low hit point creatures. I have a single tip of resist cold to mitigate their damage. This is the correct plan. Let's just go for it. Confuse and torch. Technically speaking, could also have gone for a ice cloud, because wolves, to my knowledge, are not resistant to ice. Polar bears, on the other hand, are for sure, but whatever. Do I have a magic potion? I do. That might prove very useful in a second, because I forgot that I don't have much of a tank. And we're going to use this guy to help me out for preserving my mana total. And I will kill things that try to kill him. Oh, come on. Hell of a time to abandon me, brah. Cut you down with an axe. Okay, we're good. Get my war buddy up. There you go. Now you're getting it. These guys do not like fire. Cold fire maybe, but that isn't really a thing. Appreciate you trying not to hit me with that. That was nice of you. Animate Dead would give me some meat bodies to work with, but I don't really need the meat bodies right now. Let's see if I can't cull out something more dangerous from inside there. Wow, that was a hell of a good missile guide. Beneficial mutation. Okay then. I'll absolutely use that in a second. Wolf. I don't see a wolf. Where's the wolf? I don't understand why I'm so full. Am I like pack ratting something I've just forgotten about? Maybe? I'm not carrying a ton of wands or weapons. I'm carrying a lot of books, I guess. I don't need to carry any books. I'm carrying 5 forms of food. I should only be carrying 2 or 3 at tops. Okay, fair enough. Let's ditch the dagger of protection. I can always find another. Alright. Perfect. Center on me, fellas. I'm pretty sure potions don't get damaged and broken by exogenous ice blasts, so that's a plus. Let's quaff beneficial mutation. Poison spit. Okay, so I have a new talent now. I can spit the hot fire. I mean the poison. There is a statue that is not safe to travel around. Got it. All I have to do now is get in range, fireball it a few times, and it's down. I should be able to take out a polar bear too. I'm really trying not to aggro more than I can chew. Conjurations is up to 20, that's sufficient. Let's turn spellcasting on for a brief stint, just to make some of my spells a little more castable. That should thin out their numbers. Bolt of Cold is offered, but I will deny it. Vehumet is helping me keep my mana topped off with his ability of being like, yo, I give you mana for killing things, which you are going to do anyway. Which is definitely how Vehumet talks. Definitely. So, I'm getting closer, I presume, to the end of this dungeon. I have to assume that there's going to be a ice monster at the end of it. I do not have a potion of resistance, so it's going to be even more important than usual that I be safe rather than sorry. Cautious play is going to be heavily rewarded here. I heard a bellow, so I'm just going to back off. And I have Telly Scrolls aplenty, so that's good. I even have Fog to protect me from clouds. I do not have to kill everything in this dungeon. It's perfectly acceptable to run away. Quiet dignity in hiding. I'm just suspicious of this chamber in general, so gonna do one of these. Put out my servitor. Just kind of let him take care of at least some business to keep my mana relatively full. Okay. I guess this might be the end chamber. And there is no door. There he is. There's the giant. You see him? He's got a great sword of electrocution. There's 30-something gold. And a series of items I don't care for. There is the unexplored past him, which I can choose to ignore. The question is, do I think I can take him out? He has Bolt of Cold and nothing else. Bolts are avoidable, so if I take... Wait, can he see invisible? He can, so that's pointless. I'm only taking the time to think about this because I don't want to do anything hasty unnecessarily. If I go agility, I can potentially be a little harder for him to catch with the bolt. I think the correct play here is agility and then put out my kill buddy. No, other way around. Do I have repel missiles? That would be super helpful. I do not. Okay, so we're gonna start with my kill buddy because he might actually get some aggro out of this. Agility. Okay, that's fine. And then back away in a fashion that keeps us both in LOS. And then I'm going to try to launch a couple orbs at this guy. I don't know if I'm going to manage or not, but I'm just going to try for it. Okay, I may have given him a little more respect than he deserved, but that's fine. More is always better than less in this scenario. Let's see if I can just do a really expensive digging job here. Okay, there may be something here. Let's fly and find out. I have a second flight for if my buoyancy dips. Okay, up. Okay, it's dipping. It's dipping. Okay. I think I can afford 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew! That was way scarier than it needed to be. I was way gutsier than I needed to be. Out of an abundance of caution, let's burn some dig charges to check. Nope, looks like I got everything from here. Out we go. Let's bury this overused wand. Let's ID my remaining dig wand. And I think that's everything I need, so let's get out of here. So, definitely was worth memorizing fire before going into that dungeon, just as a means of maximizing my percentage chance of success. It's not that I couldn't have done it with just Orbs of Destruction, I probably could have, actually, but it made it a lot easier and a lot safer. And with nothing but Orb of Destruction in my tank, I probably would have run out of gas at some point. Like, worse than I did when I had to use a magic potion at the door. It's also possible that I could have gotten away with not using that magic potion at the beginning. By, I don't know, no, by probably, whoa, is that orb coming to me? No, okay, thank God. I guess to not use that magic potion at the beginning, I would have had to try to walk out of it to some degree, maybe teleport. No, I would have had to use a dig wand to dig my way into the wall so that I could, like, I could run further away from my enemies. But that would also very liably have gotten me killed. And hell, if you don't use a magic potion in the early game before you have a stable means of regenerating mana to regenerate your mana, when the hell do you use it? Bad players in Crawl waste their resources. Good players in Crawl learn to not use their resources. But the truly good players, which I do not consider myself at this time, know how to conserve but still make good use of their resources. Ah, crap. That's a lot of them. Freaking brain suckers. Nope, thanks though. I actually don't need the Wand of Flame really anymore because I have Fireball for Flame and I have Ice Cloud for Ice. You know, using an Orb of Destruction on an Imp is not entirely unlike trying to dig up a, ooh! Let's do 1, 2, 3. Excellent. The ooh was because these guys usually carry Ring of Ice. Excellent. If I go Ring of Ice, I still have resist poison because of my, oh, that's because of the axe. That's gonna go. But what I'm thinking is with a Ring of Ice, I get a +1 to cold, a -1 to fire, but that puts me back at plus everything, which is great. I'm going to wield this guy, so I'll still have resist poison. I'll get int +6 out of the bargain, which means all my spells are a little more potent. Fireball's gonna get a little bit of negative synergy, I'm pretty sure because of the ice mod, but that's okay because Fireball isn't my main anyway. Yep, I should, unfortunately, this is again like unlearning muscle memory. I'm so used to always playing a Fire Mage that not being primarily fire-based is going to be weird to me. Like this, I instinctively want to use fire in this position instead. Am I not resistant to poison? I am. I just got unlucky. And I lack... Ooh. How the hell am I not resistant to cold? I'm wearing a ring of ice. Oh, I have plus ice minus ice, so it comes out to neutral, instead of plus plus, so it comes out to 2 plus. Alright, fair enough. I don't mind being neutral, it's just being negative that I don't like. Negative resistance to anything can get you killed very quickly in this game. You take an already somewhat dangerous elemental attack and make it that much worse. There's something chasing me that I can't see. Okay, it's gone now. So, since I can't see it, I'm gonna do this. It's definitely on this side of me. Okay, unless it's on this side, so I'm just gonna... There we go. Got it. Attack everything at once. If I don't know where you are, I will attack everything that I cannot see. Otherwise, this is a really nice sword in general. Falchions, ooh, artifact. Remove the curse, please. Int +2, a lot of negatives, resist electricity. Do I resist electricity without it? I do. I'm gonna go ahead and say no to this, thank you very much. New Scroll of Amnesia is always nice. Oh, and for the love of God, stop lugging around books that you're not using. Don't need a wand of slowing. Oh, I'm not. I have a Gormont amulet. I can do this. Beautiful. Yeah, old habits really do die hard, fellas. I'm still using Fireball way more than I need to be. Partly explored, but not fully explored. Please fully explore. Against an enemy like that, obviously, it's still reasonable to use Fireball even with the negative affinity and lack of training. Against an enemy like that, it would never have been reasonable to use anything. Okay, since I got Wand of Fireball, I'm going to ditch Wand of Flame. I will also ID it because these are stereotypically low on charges. Yep, just 4 charges. Wand of Fireball is an excellent AoE for like in a pinch when you suddenly need something. Man, I love my Spellforge Servitor. It is good work. Do not drink random potions. See, that was a potion of mutation. Be very sad if you drank that. You have a very good mutation profile right now. Maybe it gets better, probably gets worse. Also, I haven't spat poison even once this game. I should really remember I have that ability. It is a little pointless, admittedly, but still. Have an ability, should use it. Ice Crush is probably the best play here. Set up a nice wide cloud. Yeah, this is why I don't want Metabolic Inglatiation, because unless the damage scaling is like really good on it or something, which is why I should probably try it just to confirm, I get more value in general out of... Okay, on fire apparently. But I get more value out of setting down a cloud and then luring enemies to stand in it longer. One cast, many hits. Armor? Ooh, new gloves. +1 dex, that's what I'm talking about. I can enchant this to make it a little bit better. I don't think there are gloves of intelligence. If there are, obviously they'll replace these someday. But I could very well go the whole game and never get a pair of gloves that I like better.
for a 3-rune game. Longer than that, I would probably find an artifact eventually that would do something nicer, like give me a resistance or something. Now, I don't want anyone to run away with the wrong impression. Even though it's just a +2, Slayage +2 is a huge benefit. I would absolutely run Slaying as over a +2 pair of gauntlets in general. But when you're specifically playing a weak mage like this who doesn't really melee except as a, well, I don't feel like using the spell right now scenario, then that slaying bonus is very much not helpful. At best, it's going to make it so that those times that I was swinging my sword at things, maybe I kill them a little bit faster. But that's never important. That's never important that I win in those situations. I would not be using melee when it was important that I be killing something quickly. Like right there, the safety is no. I don't know where I'm being attacked from. Let's get to a. Okay. If these are blocked in with me. Nope, it's not with me. Okay. Open the door. Blast with ice. Okay, it's with me now. Excellent. What do I have that would work here? I think Mephitic Cloud will probably work on it. I'm in a bad situation here. It doesn't look it, but it's actually a bad situation. I think I got the Unseen Horror, actually. Pretty sure I got it, because auto pickup was back on. Let's lock the bee out of this situation, and let's frost kill this guy immediately. Let's control the space. Excellent. Okay, there we go. I've gotten 3 beneficial mutations in one game. I feel like a lucky man right now. Take it. Moderately strong poison spit. Damn, yo. Can't make up its mind, dies in the ice. Appear on target. Too far away from my moderate poison. Not too far away from my moderate poison. Please let there be things to eat. Keep closing the door on it until its grip eases up thanks to its death rattle. It's such a terrible, awesome thing. I think I've said this before on the channel, but when I do that, where I'm holding the door closed and they're constantly trying to open it, I can almost picture that desperate, they're struggling to open the door while they're choking and breathing or freezing to death, and I'm slamming it shut, and they're gripping hard and pushing, and I'm pushing back until eventually the grip goes limp and they die. I feel worse, except for the fact that they were trying to shoot me 10 seconds ago. Kinda hard to feel sympathy for somebody who's trying so actively to kill you. Alright, we're doing good here. Next stop will be the Orcish Mines. Oh, wow. I guess you guys get Christmas come early because I'm going to clear this opening before I quit today. Mass Frost is almost certainly my best option. Why are you shooting melee level orbs, bro? Careful where you put those orbs. If you hit me with an orb and kill me, I'm going to be very mad at you, Mr. Servitor. I remember that was my first big fear with Spellport Servitor using orb, is if it hits me with the orbs, I'm going to take lots of damage. But now that I've used them so much, I haven't suffered that. I've become a little bit more trusting. I've done this with Poison Cloud many times. I don't think I've done this with Ice Cloud nearly as often, but it's the same principle. Everything must die. Alrighty, well, that's the greeting party down. Mostly. Totally. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. We'll finish up the Orcish fights next time, I guess. But thank y'all for watching. I'll see you guys next time.